Hello.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I'm Alex. I'm an RD at this hospital. How are you
Nice to meet
doing?
you. Not good.
Why don't you tell me a little about what's going on? What brought you here?
Well, my doctor said I'm gonna have a stroke.
You're gonna have a stroke.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's not good. Did he tell you anything else about any workups or lab results that you have?
He did. He said, my salt, high cholesterol,
Okay.
and then also my blood pressure,
Okay.
pretty high.
All right. We got high blood pressure and some hypertension going on, and we're worried about having a stroke. Okay. All right. Well, so as a dietitian, I'm gonna help you, fix some of your diet that will help with your hypertension and blood pressure and high cholesterol. Can you tell me about some of your typical meals, what you like to eat, maybe what you ate the last 24 hours?
Well, I really like coffee.
I like coffee.
So I always start my day with coffee.
Okay, in the mornings, got you. Me
Uh-huh.
too.
I really like omelets.
Okay.
Omelets are pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are those omelets with real eggs or?
No.
No?
No, plant-based eggs.
Okay. That's probably better for you.
Omelets aren't good for you?
Well, eggs are high in cholesterol, so, managing your amount of eggs that you eat can definitely help, and that's what we're going to work on. We're going to work on your diet and changing some things to kind of lower the cholesterol, which we know cholesterol is from fat. And so we're just trying to get a list of foods here to see what we can change and what can help you lower these levels. So
Okay.
for breakfast, we got coffee and omelets. What about lunch?
Well, I like to have salads, but I add these chicken patties to them.
Okay. Chicken patties. Tell me about those.
Well, they're soy.
They're soy. Okay.
They are breaded, so they're probably not that good for me. They're spicy though.
Pre-packaged, right, in the frozen aisle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, those are good for sure. They're really easy go-tos. Okay.
If I don't eat those, then I use like tofurkey instead.
Okay. Tofurkey. Okay, so it seems like you're mostly plant-based here, huh?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so we got breakfast, we got lunch. How about dinner?
It depends on what I feel like cooking.
Right. Do you make most of your meals, or how often do you eat out?
I would probably say I make 60%.
Okay,
And
that's
then
really
eat out.
good.
But I mean, even if I eat out, I try to make pretty healthy choices. Like I like sushi a lot.
Sushi. Veggie sushi.
Yes.
No fish in there. Right. Okay. And some of your typical snacks. What about like a bedtime snack? You ever have something like that?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I really like sweets. It's really hard for me not to eat sweets.
Right. Don't we all?
But I don't know, protein bars, or I like fruit a lot. I eat a lot of fruit.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So these salads that you make with the chicken patties, are these like pre-packaged salad mixes? Do you add any other vegetables to them?
It is pre-packaged. It's like a garden variety, so it has some carrots and stuff in it.
Right.
I like simple.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really add a lot of other. I like to add carrots, like baby carrots, to it, and eat that.
Okay. All right.
But I mean, pretty much it's straightforward.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, let's just kind of talk a little bit about why you're here, what's causing your hypertension and your high cholesterol levels. And so we're worried about having a stroke, right? And what is going to cause that is a buildup of cholesterol in your veins. You get like a little lump of it. You've seen those nasty videos of like the heart surgeon pulling the cholesterol out of the veins. You haven't seen that?
No.
You don't get that. Well, that's what causes it. Is cholesterol is it's a clump of fat. And actually what happens is you have inflammation in your vessels, and that's why you have hypertension, because it's pushing on the blood vessels and it kind of damages them. And then cholesterol comes in to try to help fix it, and it's really sticky. And if you have too much in your blood, then it can clump together and those can break off, and that will cause a blockage, and it can either occur in your heart and you get chest pain, have a heart attack, or it can go to your brain and you can have a stroke, right? Okay. And so, right, if the buildup of cholesterol and fat is what can cause a stroke, then, the best defense to prevent that is to reduce your cholesterol levels, right?
Okay.
And to help lower your hypertension so you don't get the inflammation, so cholesterol doesn't come in the first place. Make sense?
I mean, I feel like I don't put salt on my food that much.
Right, I know. Salt is very sneaky. It gets into a lot of foods. I'm sure, like the chicken patties, the prepackaged meals, a lot of the prepackaged meals, the processed foods, come with high salt content in them. And so, yeah, so basically, just to reiterate, what causes a stroke is the buildup of cholesterol. And cholesterol comes in the first place because you have inflammation and damaged blood vessels, and then cholesterol comes to try and fix it. And so we're going to lower our cholesterol, and we're going to help prevent hypertension and prevent inflammation. And we can do that with our diet, right? So this is awesome. So what I have for you is this handout here, talking about preventing and reducing the risk. And at the top, it's just kind of talking about stroke, the American Heart Association, and what they have identified for targets in achieving optimal cardiovascular health. They have identified 7 metrics that contribute to stroke. BMI, smoking. You don't smoke, right?
No.
I didn't think so. Okay, a total cholesterol and blood pressure, and your glucose levels, which is just your sugar levels. And so out of these metrics, the biggest factors that are contributing is hypertension and elevation of blood pressure and your cholesterol levels, the plaque buildup. So those are 2 biggest metrics, is your hypertension and cholesterol. So that's why we are going to target those specifically and reduce our cholesterol and reduce our hypertension. So, right, so here's this is for you. So remember what we said about we're going to reduce our cholesterol levels. And so how are we gonna do that? How would you say? Just like
look for items with less cholesterol in them.
Okay, and so are you familiar with reading the food labels on the back of products?
I mean, yeah, since I'm plant-based, I always have to look at those.
Right, gotcha. And so what this handout is going to help you with specifically is helping to decipher these food labels, because unfortunately with the label laws, they are very misleading, and the percentages on the back of the labels aren't exactly, they don't tell you the amount of fat in there relative to calories. They tell you the amount of fat relative to weight, which does not help. And so what I have for you here is a handout to help you figure out exactly how much fat is in a product. Okay. And so just like as an example here, we have our ground turkey and it says lean 15%, right? Or it says fat 15%, lean 85%. This is, the fat content in the product.
Okay.
And so you would think that's good, right? 15%. But actually, what we want to do to figure out how much fat is in here is we're going to look at the label. We're going to go to our fat content and we see how many grams of fat.
17.
17, okay. And so we're going to take that number, 17 grams, and we're going to multiply it by 9 because there are 9 calories in 1 gram of fat.
Okay.
So we take our 17, and I have it here somewhere. It's just hard to read upside down. Yeah, so 17 times 9 is going to give us our total calories
Of 153.
of 153. And then we're going to take that and divide it by the total calories in the product, which is
230.
230. So 135 divided 230 is going to give us 0.66, and then we just multiply that by 100 to give us a percentage, to give us 66%.
Ooh.
Right? So more than half of the calories in this ground turkey are directly from fat.
Dang.
Right? Would you say that is a good option when you're trying to reduce the fat content in your
Probably
diet?
not.
All right, exactly. In these food labels, they try to get away with it with putting these numbers and putting lean on it, and it makes you think you're having a good choice. And so, yeah, this is just a way to help you figure out the fat content in your products.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So, did that all make sense, or did you have any questions or concerns for me at this time?
Nope, that makes sense.
Okay. All right. So, this is just one way that is going to help you reduce your cholesterol and your hypertension. Of course, we want to take a big approach to this, and it's something I like to call the therapeutic lifestyle changes diet, in which, I mean, it's just kind of your typical healthy habits of increasing fiber and veggies and fruits and exercise, and this is all going to help you lower those levels. But more specifically, we're going to use this to help us identify foods with low fat content. And you can see at the bottom, a good rule of thumb is to find products that have a 20% or less total fat content.
Okay.
All right, makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, is there anything that you foresee could be a barrier or a challenge with you following through with any of the changes?
I feel like just getting used to it.
Yeah, right. Did any of the math seem difficult, or do you think did that make sense?
No, it made sense.
How many calories are in 1 gram of fat?
9.
All right, so we take that and we multiply it by what on the food label?
The grams of fat.
Okay, and then we take that number and we do what with it?
Divided by the serving calories.
Okay, and then that number represents
A percentage of fat.
right, exactly. So yeah, you got it. It's not that complicated. And unfortunately, we have to do that because, again, labels are misleading, and this helps clarify that. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna set some goals, and I think the biggest one is reducing your cholesterol levels,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay, so we're going to reduce our cholesterol levels, and then next is we're going to try and reduce our hypertension, right? And the best way to do that is just to kind of monitor your salt intake, and so we're going to monitor our salt intake. Okay, and this is going to be our 2 main goals. And then in addition to this, we're going to try to increase fiber and veggies, maybe, adding some fresh vegetables into that salad mix, like cucumbers. I know you said you already add carrots, just some other fresh veggies, maybe some beets. Do you like beets? You do?
I do.
Okay, beets are a great go-to. And then fiber, you can even add things into your salad like beans or lentils.
Okay.
Leeks are a really good fibrous vegetable. You can chop those up thinly and add those into your salads. Would be a great way to increase your fiber. And so it's really just that, typical healthy lifestyle: exercise, veggies with increased fiber, reducing our fat content, which we're going to tackle with this handout. We're going to monitor our salt levels and help reduce our inflammation. All right. Okay. So those are our two big goals: reducing cholesterol, monitoring our salt. So that about wraps it up. Just to let you know, I am available. If you do have any other questions, I'll give you my number and you can call me and you can ask me if you have any questions with the handout or any other type of diet changes. I'll set up a meeting for us to meet back in a month and we'll check those levels and see how you're doing.
All right, sounds good.
All righty. Thank you so much. Have a good day.